Hello, we are officially live. Give you guys a second to tune in. Please, if you feel comfortable, we would love to hear. Hi, Ayman. It's good to see you again. Yeah, please say hi in the chat. Oh, perfect. We have some of our regulars. I love it. Hi, Harold. Hi, Matthew. Hello, Mike. Jose, Mark. Hi, everyone. So great to meet you guys. I see a lot of folks on this side of the pond. Awesome. We're super excited today. I am just like really floored by what these two have put together for us. So I hope you guys are excited to learn more about Bardeen and the ways that you can really like supercharge a lot of manual things with Softr. It just is reminding me of when I was like an intern, back in the beginning of my career. There were a lot of jobs that if something like Bardeen was around back then, my job would have been obsolete, at least at that point, or it would have made it a lot easier. So this is really cool. Awesome. Welcome, Miranda. New to Softr, looking forward to learning more. Cool. Well, welcome. So yeah, today is going to be more about the ways that Softr integrates with Bardeen. Let me go ahead and just kind of kick us off because I want to make sure we have plenty of time to get into the meat of the conversation and the workshop and the workflow. So first of all, housekeeping, of course, this will be recorded. So we record all of our workshops. And I will send you all, anyone that's registered, I will send you a link to the recording by tomorrow. So usually in the next day, you'll get an email from me. Along with a survey, if you want to let us know what you thought of the event, what you want to see for future events, please do let us know. Love to get feedback. And then, yeah, I think that's it. So please feel free to ask questions in the chat. We love to get questions and engagement. So please ask away. We will answer them, whether it's in the chat or we'll bring it to like live and chat through any questions that you guys have. All right, awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. First of all, for those of you I haven't met, I'm Lizzie. I am the community lead here at Softr. So anything related to our community, workshops, education, our experts, I'm kind of the person that's swirling around in all of these different spaces. So please feel free at any point to reach out to me. I'm happy to share my email, LinkedIn, all of that good stuff. I would love to hear more about how you're using Softr and how maybe we can help you. Okay, so I'm not going to go super deep into Softr. If you guys have questions specifically about the Softr side of this workshop, please do still add them in the chat though. I'm happy to answer questions. We can walk through some things and go a little bit deeper on the Softr side. I will say this workshop is more geared a little bit more towards showcasing Bardeen and how powerful it is when you kind of pair it with Softr. But it's at a high level. Softr is essentially a no-code tool that allows you to build custom apps and internal tools, of course, using Airtable and Google Sheets as your data source. So we call it block by block and without code. As many of you probably know, if you've played in Softr, we have kind of a drag and drop block editor. The point is making it really easy for anyone to kind of get started and have a super low barrier to entry. Yeah, so that's Softr, all kinds of different things you can build with it. But today we're really going to be letting Bardeen kind of shine. So Bardeen is a super cool tool. It's an automation app that allows you to replace repetitive tasks, like I was saying, with a single shortcut, and you can kind of control your web apps from anywhere. So we'll get into what this looks like in just a moment. Super excited. It's really, really cool, like nerdy stuff that I love. All right, so presenting our two wonderful guests today that have taken the time to not only carve out the time to be with us today, but they've also spent a lot of time preparing for this event to show you guys some of these really, really cool integrations and features. So first up, we have Rinat Gabatov. He is marketing at Bardeen. So Bardeen is about 20 people now, and just learned that Rinat has been there from the start. You may know him from YouTube as well. He's been producing some really incredible YouTube videos. Highly recommend if you want to learn more about Bardeen to head over there. Yeah, he's passionate about simplifying workflows with no-code tools. And in this event, he's going to show us how we can get the most out of Bardeen and Softr with cool features like a data scraper and, of course, AI, because AI is everywhere right now. And so we want to showcase that. Awesome. Next up, we have Katt Risen, who many of you guys maybe know or familiar with, especially if you are involved in the no-code space. So Katt is definitely everywhere in this space, and it's incredible, and with good reason. So she is the founder of No Code Exits. So she's a no-code maker building tiny products without code to learn, have fun, and reach ramen profitability. So you might know her from her newsletter, nocodeexits.com. If you don't, highly recommend heading to the website and subscribing. I am a subscriber myself, and it's really, really cool. She basically shows you different folks that walks like deeper into folks that have built something with no code and then exited or sold it. So really cool, because I think a lot of the times we see in no code, people easily come up with ideas, but the hard part is actually monetizing that idea or making it something that's worth it. So she shares those stories. I feel like I see you in my inbox weekly, but correct me if I'm wrong on that. Yeah, so super excited. She is our guest today, kind of in the hot seat. So in this event, she's going to be showing us her Softr app and how she used Bardeen to essentially scrape information and make it a breeze. So today, first of all, we're going to go through, Renat's going to give us the Bardeen side. He's going to give us an introduction to Bardeen and just walk us through some really cool Softr use cases so we can get excited. Then Katt's going to enter the hot seat. Literally, I love that you're in this like giant seat right now because it feels very vibes. It's great. So she's going to show us how she cut time in half building her app, growthmakers.io, scraping info on no-code projects for this Softr app. So she has a lot of different Softr apps, actually. This is one of many, but I'm excited to learn more about it. And then, of course, please ask questions. I love seeing everyone chatting already. Please continue, ask questions, leave comments, leave feedback, and connect with each other in the chat as well. Something that happened in our last event last week is folks were trying to connect with each other. So what I'll do in the email tomorrow is also kind of send you guys a link to a place where you can all connect with each other on our community forum if you want to continue the conversation. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. Enough from me. I'm going to now hand it over. Renat, Bardeen, please take it away. I'm excited to see what you have.
Hello, everybody. Super excited to be here. Lazy, thanks for organizing the event. And Katt, super excited to be co-joining you. How many of you guys have tried Bardeen or any type of data scrapers before? Can you type it in the chat, please? So to give you a quick overview, yeah, sounds like quite a few. To give you a quick overview of what Bardeen is, it's a workflow automation tool, and it allows you to scrape information from the currently open page or in the background, which makes the integration with Softr really, really seamless. Instead of telling you all of the fundamentals and the background behind it, I want to show you how you can start using it with literally just a few clicks. So the first thing I want to do is I want to share my screen and show you probably the aha moment that you can experience with Bardeen right away. I'm going to start sharing my screen and just let me know when you see it. All right. Looks like
good to go.
We are on. All right, so here we have our Softr website, and this is a talent space. This is where you can add, for example, your employees, or you can add candidates if you're an HR company. So the big problem is, how do we populate our data sources in Airtable or Google Sheets? Majority of people are going to input everything manually, which is obviously suboptimal. So if we go on LinkedIn, for example, this is where a lot of information lives. There we have Lizzie's profile, and Bardeen is a Chrome extension over here. And there we have a lot of pre-built playbooks. Playbooks are pre-built automations. Here I have LinkedIn to Softr playbook. So all I need to do is I need to click on the card once, and that's pretty much it. The data was scraped and was added to Airtable. So I can just refresh the page, and bam, just like this, there we have Lizzie. That's the use case number one. And I want to show you what actually happened in the background. So let's go back to LinkedIn. Let me open Bardeen. You can open Bardeen from pretty much any page. And let's take a look at this automation. You can open it in the builder. And here we have just two blocks. So we have the data scraper action that extracts information from the currently open tab. And then we are adding this information to Airtable. So the information that was provided by the scraper can be linked to the fields that we can see over here in this database. And you can just link all of the data fields and boom, there we go. It's that simple. What I want to show you right now is I want to show you how simple it will be to build a scraper template and leverage existing templates that Softr provides. So what we can do is we can go to Softr over here and just pick a template. What I'm interested in is a real estate platform that I want to build. Let's see. So here we have property listings, for example. Let's take a look at this template over here. And it's going to take just a few minutes to build the entire workflow, which makes the integration really, really seamless, in my opinion, between the two tools. So here, as you can see, we can have a list of different properties. If we're a real estate company, for example, this is going to be really, really sweet. So I'm going to use this template, insert my API key, just like this, and I'm going to duplicate a pre-built Airtable database. So let's go ahead and duplicate it. Boom. And just like this, here we have a few listings over here. Everything is pre-populated. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up some of those so we can see the new results scraped right away. Let me just delete these results over here. Okay. And then I'm going to take a look at the fields that we have. Okay. And then we have the gallery. So it seems like we have the location of the property, the listing name, we have the thumbnail, the price, and the number of bedrooms. So if I wanted to import new properties to this database, I would need to have a data source. There are tons of data sources, such as LinkedIn, for example, which we use to add people to our Airtable database. But instead, I want to go to Zillow and then find some interesting properties that we can add to our real estate database in Airtable. So we can find a zip code, find the property that we're interested in. Let's click on this one.
You can see the expensive properties in
And
the US on Zillow.
yeah, super
It's
expensive.
crazy.
That's for sure. That's for sure. So we're going to open the Chrome extension. Again, you can open the Chrome extension from anywhere in the browser. And at the bottom here, you have create new playbook button. And we're going to pick this scraper action. Scraper just copies information from what you're seeing on the website in a nicely formatted way. So we're going to scrape data on the active tab meaning the currently open tab, but you can also scrape information in the background. And here we can pick a pre-built scraper or we can build a new scraper. I want to show you how to build a scraper. And I'm going to pick this tab that we're on. So Bardeen allows you to scrape information from a single page. For example, here we have one listing, or you can scrape a list. If we clicked out from this page, you saw a list of hundreds of properties or thousands of properties. So you can grab thousands of properties very easily as well. For this use case, I want to pick the single page scraper, call it Zillow scraper. Start building, and you can just select the information that you're interested in. For example, we just need to click on an element like this image, and I can pick a different data type. We have text, we have links, we have images. So let me click on image. So this is the image that we're going to feed to the website. I want to grab the price, like this, number of bedrooms.
This is wild how easy it is, just hovering over all the elements.
Precisely,
So
exactly.
cool.
And then we have the location over here. And then finally, there's some special fields. So those fields are not on the body of the page, but they're here. For example, the URL of this property, I can select here page link. It's going to be the URL variable. At the bottom, you can see the table preview. So this is the information that is going to be extracted. Let's save this template. And just like this, in a few minutes, we build a template for this use case. I'm going to click on done over here and add another action. And this is going to be an Airtable action. We're going to add this data to Airtable, pick this real estate template by Softr. So let's type real estate over here. See? Real estate by Softr. There it is. Okay, and all we need to do is we need to link the data fields. So I'm going to do that really quick. Let's do the price. We can do the thumbnail, which is the image, the location. Put the location again. I want to actually show you, instead of, you see listing name, we can have a custom listing name. Instead of feeding it the location of the property, I can input ask me every time variable, which will allow you to input a variable. So not a constant variable every time you run the automation. I'm going to show you what this means in a second. And let's try number of bedrooms over here. Click on done again, call this automation Zillow to Softr, click on save, and that's pretty much it. This is your entire app that was built. So we are right now on a Zillow listing page. Here we have a listing that we're interested in. As you can see, here we have only one listing. So from here, we need to click on Bardeen, click on the card. And you remember that ask me every time variable? This is where we get to specify what we want this property to be called. I'll call it super expensive San Francisco property because they're really pricey. All right. And we can click on run this, and that's it. The information was extracted from here and it was added to this table over here. As you can see, we have the image as well that was extracted. And that's pretty much it. So what we can do from here is we can just go ahead and publish our website. Let's see where it is.
I think you might have just X'd out of it.
Did I X out of it?
Try refreshing your studio.
Yeah. Let's try refresh.
It might have been X'd out.
Yes.
But if you, I think we would get what would happen. You can also easily connect the template again and just connect it to that Airtable base and we would see it. But essentially what's going to happen is it's automatically going to be showing up on the Softr template after you've connected your Airtable database to specific.
Precisely.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. We're getting lots of comments. Yes, of course, it'll be recorded. Yes, and we'll send that out tomorrow. It also will live on our YouTube channel. But yeah, lots of great comments. It's life-changing. This is a game changer. So cool. I'm not sure what happened to your camera, but we were able to see the whole walkthrough, so that's great. John says that I'll be able to see a website search input variable from Airtable and returning data to AT triggered by the row input. Ooh, interesting. Okay, I'll keep that question on hold. I want to make sure we have enough time for Katt. So I'm going to actually, yeah, unless you guys have any other questions specifically about those two walkthroughs, thank you so much, Renat, for walking us through. Just visually, I think there's a lot that's possible with Bardeen, and maybe sometimes if you're new to a tool like this, it might feel a little bit like, where do I get started? So in my mind, I'm new to this tool. I'm new to this kind of space in general. So I would just probably think of like, what's something that what's a super manual list of things that I would want to kind of create and easily capture that data and send it to a place rather than me having to like individually put in each of this information. So super easy. I love how it's done with like through a Chrome extension. You just hover over the elements, click what you want, boom, 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 and then connect the fields, and then there it is. It's awesome.
And I think the best part is that you can scrape super long
Yeah.
lists. You can scrape thousands of
Yeah.
results without any code. As you saw, it takes around a couple minutes to build a template, and then you can pipe it directly to software. Yeah, the possibilities are endless. You can do so much, and I'm really excited to hear about your unique use cases. I guess we have Katt, who discovered our tool probably by browsing the web, and excited to see what you have built with Softr.
Yeah, so great. Let's hand it over to Katt. Curious to know how you heard about Bardeen too, actually. That's a great question to start with. And yeah, let's take a look at your use case. And yep, handing the mic over. I see some questions as well in the chat. Don't worry, guys. We will chat with you as well as get to questions at the end. But for now, Katt, please take it away.
Yeah, you see my screen?
Yep, looks good.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I am Katt. And I discovered Bardeen. I was looking for a scraping solution, and I tried something, but it was crazy expensive and also a little bit technical. And then I don't know exactly how I discovered Bardeen, but I think from one of the no-code communities I'm part of. And yeah, when I tried it, I was pretty excited because it looks so good and clean, and yeah, it suddenly makes scraping kind of fun. While before that, I was always dreading to do scraping or stuff like that. So yeah, really a big fan. So yeah, I'm Katt. I have a background in marketing. I worked for years in e-commerce and digital customer experience roles. So I can't code. I never scraped in my life until maybe 1 year ago. And in 2021, I discovered no code. And yeah, it was pretty amazing because I always had this interest in startups and entrepreneurship. And yeah, suddenly with no code, I had the feeling that finally I could build small solutions myself. Yeah, I'm the writer of No Code Exits, a weekly newsletter about projects made with no code that are profitable or that got acquired. And other than that, I'm having a lot of fun with making tiny products without code. I think there are probably 99% of the no-code builders are more advanced than me, but yeah, I really like to keep it simple, and that's maybe also sometimes a strength because it means that you can go fast and validate an ID quickly before losing months of time. And one of those products that I made is growthmakers.io, and it was inspired by Andrew Gazdecki. That's the CEO of MicroAcquire. It's like the biggest startup acquisition platform. And he tweeted that projects made with no code get acquired faster. And I think that is pretty big. The reason for that is that it's easier to transfer those projects, and it's also much more interesting for non-technical founders because you can easily improve the project yourself, or you can learn the no-code tool and start building and improving the product without having to hire an expensive engineer. Let's take a look maybe to the website. So it's very simple. a collection of scraped projects made with no code that are for sale on multiple acquisition platforms. And it's displayed in a nice directory with some filters and a search bar. And the tools I used for that are, yeah, of course, Bardeen and Softr and Airtable. And yeah, Bardeen, I also could have done this manually, but yeah, I think it would have taken me a lot of time, and I would probably have stopped after 1 week because yeah, it's pretty boring to copy and paste stuff like that. So yeah, Bardeen was an easy choice because it was easy to set it up. It was user friendly. It has a great UI, and at this moment, it's also completely free, which is like a pretty good reason when you're just starting out with a project that you want to validate. And then Softr, yeah, I'm a big Softr fan because it also has a great user interface, but still it's very powerful. And also they have an amazing free plan with a custom domain and powerful features, which makes it perfect to validate your ID before you upgrade to a more expensive plan. And yeah, Airtable is what I use to collect the content and manage the content and send it to Softr. So how does it work in detail? So all the projects are just normally listed on acquisition platforms by the sellers, and it are projects made with custom code, projects made with no code, anything. Then with Bardeen, I had set up one time 2 scraper templates and an auto book so that it's scraped every week. And then the scraped results are sent to Airtable. In Airtable, I curate and improve the information, and the final results are displayed on a nice website. And then final step is that with an Airtable automation, I send an automated weekly email that summarizes the new projects that were added in the past week. So in detail, so here is an example of how the two acquisition platforms look like. So this is Microns and Tiny Acquisitions, and this is their overview page of all the projects that are for sale. And the first step that I did was that I set up 2 scrape templates, and for the first one is for the overview page where I want to see which new projects were listed and collect the URL of these projects so that I can scrape it in the second step. So let's see how that works in Bardeen. So this is the overview page with all the listings from Microns. And then we open Bardeen, create a new scraper template, and it's a page with multiple items. So we go for the list, give it a name, and then we define the different elements so Bardeen can recognize it. So this is one and this is one. And then we have to select which pagination is there. And in this case, it's an infinite scroll. And I want to collect the URL of each listing. And I know if you click on this block that you are sent to the page. So I say here, I want to collect a link. Link, get data. And you see already that Bardeen is doing its job. And we save this first template. Then we have a second template that we need to create. So for each listing that is listed, we want to collect the information like for which price, what's the title, which tools were made to use it. So again, for this, we need to define a template so that Bardeen knows which information they need to collect. So again, a newspaper template, this time a single page. We give it a name, and then we start to define which elements we want, the one-liner, price, and for example, I would also like to know when it was scraped. So I can see that in my Airtable base. Yeah, that's okay for the example now. So like that, we have the two examples of the template setup. So you set this up one time, and yeah, it's done for the amount of for the other for the rest of the time. The second step in Bardeen is to set up an auto book, and an auto book means that the scraping is done automatically. So you don't need to push a button or something like that. You can define a certain moment when you want the scraping to start, or you can say that it happens when something changes on a website, for example. I schedule it every Monday. First, it scrapes the overview page and collects the URL. Then it goes to this URL and scrapes all the detailed information from every listing, and then it's sent to Airtable. So let's take a look to this auto book. That's here. So here you see that I scheduled it every week on Monday, and it never stops. Then I scrape first the overview page with all the listings. And here I link the template that we set up in the first step. So here it collects the URL. And I also define that I only want to scrape 6 results because I don't want every week to have all the results, all the listings again in my Airtable base. And I tracked it a little bit, and it are around 4 projects every week that are added to Microns. And then the second step is that it takes the URL from the previous action, and then it uses the second scraper template that we defined. Maybe also good to know is that you here see scraped data in the background. So that means that when your computer is open and you're just working, it will all just happen automatically in the background, and yeah, you won't notice it. It happens all in the background, so you can just continue to work. And then the last step is that it's sent to Airtable. So it's first linked with the correct Airtable base. And then I mapped all the script info with the correct fields in Airtable. And if it's empty, it stays empty like that. And that's the last step of the Bardeen. So then this data is all sent to Airtable, and then I go in Airtable to curate and improve the information. So let's take a look. So here, these are all the projects that are scraped in the past weeks. And yeah, imagine if you had to copy paste all this, that would be pretty boring. So every Monday I check this view, select if it's no code. So here all the script results come in, and then I check if it's made with no code or with custom code. If it's custom code, I push on no, and then it disappears from my Airtable base. And if it's yes, it goes to the second view. And here in this view, I improve the information. So I make sure that the one-liner is okay. I add some filters, and I click on publish. And then it goes to the live view. And And that's the view that I use to create the Softr website. So with this live view, I turn it into a directory. So if we go to Softr, pretty simple setup. So first we have a hero block with an email capture, and the email capture is connected with a ZEP to Airtable. So the email addresses are sent to my Airtable base. Then here we have a list block, which is connected to the my Airtable base and only shows the live view and then the 3 last results from this view. So it shows here the most recent project that were added. And if we go to the full overview, yeah, you have search, all the filters that I wanted to show, and here again it's the Airtable base connected to the live view. And if you click on more details, you go to the original listing on the acquisition platform. And I monetize it by some of these platforms have affiliate links. So if you send them a new customer or user, you get a small percentage. So some of those are affiliate links. And then a final step is that in Airtable, I set up an automation. So every Monday, it will check the projects that were added in the last week. And it will add this information in a template I defined and send it every week to my subscribers. So they know which projects are new. And yeah, I hope it helps them return to the website. Maybe good to know is that for this, I had to use the Airtable Pro plan to set up this automation, because otherwise with the free plan, you can't send emails to non-Airtable users. So that's maybe good to know. And there's also a limit of 100 email addresses. So when I reach 100, I will have to figure out how I set it up for the next phase. But there are problems for later. And a final tip where I use a playbook from Bardeen is every Monday I check if the listings that are on my website are still live. And I use this playbook, which opens all the links from my Airtable base. So it opens around 30 tabs, and then I can just go with the tab button in a few clicks through them to see if I need to delete them or if they can stay alive. So it saves me some time in clicking. So yeah, that was the full walkthrough of my little project. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much, Katt. I'm so curious about how many hours or maybe even minutes are you now like spending on this project? Now that you have, it seems like the main process is the checking to see if they're still live. Is that right? Everything else?
Yeah, and curating it a little bit if there are new projects.
yeah.
So I think maximum 1 hour per week.
So cool. That's incredible. I love it. And smart to use affiliate links. So then hopefully it's making you money.
Yeah.
Best of both worlds. And then maybe that money will help pay for potentially Airtable Pro or whatever.
Yeah. But I had free credits in Airtable too. So
oh, it's so cool. So we have lots of great engagement. I think most of the questions that have been asked, Renat has been great about going in and answering. John asked, how did you build that playbook? I'm guessing, I mean, that's basically what we just went through, right? Am I mistaken? Yeah. So John, if you're just joining, this will be recorded. So please, I will send it out tomorrow. The recording, it will also go live on our YouTube in like the next few days. Take a look. You can like fast forward and check it out. But she just walked us through kind of the whole step-by-step walkthrough of how she set everything up. And honestly, looks super intuitive and pretty great even for beginners. So yeah, thank you. Cool. Anyone else? Daniel's saying, anyone know where I can find the best no coders and pay them for using these tools? Kat, do you take on projects? Kat, are you taking on projects right now? I'm not sure.
No, not really. But always happy to chat and help where I can. Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Daniel, we do have pretty engaged communities. And if you just post the job you have, I'm pretty sure there will be many people who'd be open to helping.
Yeah, definitely. There is a Slack for Bardeen, right? And it's public. Am I right in saying that? I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say,
yes, I just shared the link in the chat.
Perfect. That's probably a great place to go and ask. We also have Softr experts. I'm not sure if you're looking for more on the Softr side though. I mean, most of our experts are very familiar with these tools. So be sure to check them out as well on our website. You can find them under our community tab in the header, and you can just reach out to individual experts here. Some of them that have joined today, I've seen them chatting, so they could help you as well. But yeah, also on the Bardeen side, just head over to the Slack. I'm in there as well. I need to check in. Cool. Anybody else have any questions and comments, anything? Feel free. Daniel says question. All right, we are anticipating your question.
I'd also be pretty curious to know, people who are watching, what type of projects you have, what type of use cases you have, and what are the biggest challenges that you're facing right now?
Yeah, that's such a great question. I was thinking that as well. Like, how do you, a lot of you guys are saying this is a game changer for Softr, this is a game changer. So super curious to know how you would like to use Bardeen and how it's going to help you kind of like obviously cut down the time it takes to develop apps and things like that. Yeah, just type in the chat. We'd love to know. And Daniel says, are we early to no code? Where do you guys see it in 5 years? Actually, I'm gonna first, I would love to hand this over to Katt and Renat to hear their perspective. We actually just did a little history of no code on Twitter on Saturday, I believe, because it was no code day. So I'm going to actually drop this because it's super interesting. Honestly, no code has technically been around for a pretty long time, but I feel like we're in kind of a new version of it as it exists now. So yeah, why don't you guys, what is your take on this? You guys are more no code experts at this point. I'd love to hear your opinion on that.
I think we are still early. I think it's now, yeah, it has a name in like this tech scene on Twitter and in certain communities and groups. But if I just look around in my daily life, in companies, in people, employees at work, it's still early. I have the feeling, and they can, if they would discover no code, it will really skyrocket, I think.
I personally think that no code or code, it's a relatively a deceiving question. I don't think it matters the tools you use. What matters the most is how people consume information. And then right now there is this massive AI movement where people start using ChatGPT, for example, to find answers to their queries. And what a lot of no-code tools do, they actually curate existing information out there on the web, which ChatGPT may or may not do. This is why you go to certain marketplaces versus others. This is why you go to Katt's platform instead of other platforms. So I think no code will evolve in many ways. I think it will probably be further powered by artificial intelligence in one way or another. But I think in the next 5-10 years, just the way we work on our machines and our computers is going to just transform drastically. So there are bigger questions to be addressed, not just how to build software.
Yeah, absolutely. Such great insight and answers. Yeah, I would say on our side with Softr, We're really focused on the power of no-code tools, especially in using it internally at companies, because you can essentially have one tool that can probably solve for a lot of different use cases across HR, across marketing, opposed to using lots of different kind of like vertical solutions that are kind of out of the box. But the challenge is communicating that, because most folks working internally at companies they haven't even heard the term no code, to be honest. They don't really know that terminology, so they're not searching for it. So it's kind of a mindset shift as well. It feels like category creation in a bit, where we also want to be the people that are educating on kind of the why behind choosing no code over maybe other solutions that you're more accustomed to or used to, and the benefits of that. So it'll be exciting to see. There's definitely still, I feel like, a bubble that exists right now, and it's only a matter of time before I think it spreads and becomes more mainstream. But it is kind of fun to be like involved in the bubble as it exists now, at least I think. Cool. Lots of great comments. It's cool to see what you guys are using, or like what you would use Bardeen for. VC clients, definitely. I feel like they're constantly needing to scrape information from various sources. That's really helpful. Any website for no-code experts beyond software experts? Yeah, there are. One that I know of is called CodeMap. And feel free, anyone else, if you guys have any more, I'll probably forget, but this is one you can check out. I think it's a marketplace for no-code, low-code talent. So check that one out. And there's probably other ones with that, but no, CodeMap is just at the top of my mind because we recently worked with them.
Yeah. There's another one called Heap.
Okay. Perfect. Oh, I haven't heard of them. Check them out.
Yeah, they have tons of experts across different no-code tools.
Yeah, super helpful. Cool. Everybody sounds like Amazon playbooks to get some data from bestseller list. Yeah, it sounds like you.
Very common use case, actually.
Yeah, and it sounds like a lot of you have gotten some great like takeaways from this. Cool. I love it. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments as I was just chatting. There was a lot. There is a question, I'm not sure if we answered this one, about limits to Bardeen. Can I use it to scrape Google Maps, for example?
You can use it to scrape Google Maps. We also have advanced scraping capabilities where you can add a custom CSS selector, just the location of the item you're trying to extract in the code. Pretty easy to do. I'm actually going to record another scraper tutorial very soon. We have pretty in-depth documentation about how to use the scraper. But I think an additional way of how you can use data scraper and Softr is leveraging artificial intelligence. Specifically, what Bardeen has access to is OpenAI actions. So you can feed information from, say, a listing on Zillow that we have taken a look earlier, or whatever information you're scraping. You can then feed that information to OpenAI and then ask OpenAI to, say, generate a summary or a short description or whatever type of text you want. Maybe it can be an engaging title for that same listing. And then you can get that information sent to Airtable. And in this way, you're not just scraping information, you're scraping, processing, creating new data, and then feeding it directly to your new website, which turns what you're building not into just, hey, I want to just aggregate the coolest things out there on the web, but you're creating something unique, something that could be way more useful.
So cool. Your YouTube tutorials are great. However, the new UI doesn't match the old one, so it kind of gets confusing. I think we have that issue at Softr as well, because our product is changing very rapidly. And so I will record a video and then like 2 months later, it's out of date a bit. So I'm sure you're continually creating videos that will continue to be updated. Awesome. So Mark, let me just check your comment real quick. I'm a Softr and Airtable user already, now become a Bardeen user also. Awesome. I will do exactly what I need to collect my data from multiple web sources for content thematic analysis in Airtable. Seriously life-changing, will give me so many saved hours. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Mark. So cool. I love hearing all of this. Is there already a YouTube video for OpenAI actions available on the Bardeen side? Yeah.
Yes, I dropped it in the follow-up comment. And there will be a Softr Bardeen video coming up. I already planned it.
Awesome.
So it's going to be a more in-depth tutorial that you can check out as well.
Excited for that. Great. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for engaging, asking questions, sharing with us how you're going to use Bardeen. Yeah, make a community from here. So Daniel, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send out an email tomorrow. That email will have the replay. There'll be a quick link to a survey. I'll also link everyone's information here. And then I'll also on our community, the Softr community forum, where I will link to kind of a thread where you guys can kind of post and connect and ask questions and leave comments specifically about this event. And if you all want to kind of connect with each other there, I recommend you, if you don't already have an account, create an account. It's on our forum, and you guys can all kind of connect there, because I can't really share. Last time we asked if I could share participant information, but can't do that for privacy reasons, but happy to send you all to a place where you can connect with each other. Great. Yeah. And yes, so thank you. Also, please be sure to subscribe to Katt, and she has her own website as well as No Code Exits. On her own website, it's kattrisen.com, right? Is it just your name? You can see all of the different really cool projects that she's created. So the one that she showcased today is just one of many. So please go there and get inspired. Also check out No Code Exits. But again, I'm going to send all of this information in our our recap email tomorrow, so you can stay in touch, as well as Bardeen, Renat's great videos on YouTube. Yeah, I love it. Katt, you are my hero. So great. Also, just special thank you to you both for, again, taking the time to not only carve out time for this workshop, but also taking the time beforehand to create your workflows and showing us kind of the power of these two tools. It takes a lot of work to set these things up. So I really appreciate you both for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us today. This was a really, really great workshop. So thank you all so much. It looks like Yassine has a question. We'll make sure to flag it and we can get you guys answers. Awesome. All right, great guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you soon. All right, bye.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.